This table might look familiar. Have you used it before to practice skip counting up and down? Well, this table does have the same information, but it doesn't work the same way. Let me show you. It's quick and simple, but it really makes you think. One click shows the number of blocks in each row. Can you see the 3? And how many rows? There are 6. And how many blocks total? 18. Just one click shows it all. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. Click the same block again to reset. Easy. 2 clicks. On and off. Then pick any other block you want. 7 in a row multiplied by 4 rows. The total is 28. It's really quick. Did you know that the total is called the product? And the numbers we multiply are called factors. 7 times 4 equals 28. The two factors are 7 and 4, and their product is 28. Those are some good math words to know. A multiplication equation, the factors, and the product. Make sense? Also, there's always more than one way to get the same product. 2 in a row multiplied by 9 rows is 18. And 9 in a row multiplied by 2 rows is also 18. We switched the factors around, but we still get the same total. Or in other words, we get the same product. So you can poke around this table randomly, look at the values, and think about them. That's a good way to learn. Or if you're working on some specific math problems, maybe a worksheet, you can use it instead of a printed multiplication table. You'll give your brain an extra workout by hunting for the values. If you think about it a little, you can really make good guesses and find the answer you're looking for, sometimes on the first try. Let's pause a minute and think about some strategies you should use with this table. How quickly can you count without really counting? How many in each row? Immediately, I notice the row is filled, which means there are 10. I don't have to count from 1 to 10, I just use my eyes. And counting up, how many rows? Looking at the big picture, the whole table, I certainly pay attention to the ones that are filled, but also I pay attention to the ones that are empty. Right now, to me it looks like the table is half full. Do you agree? If we're only halfway to the top, I can see how many rows out of 10 are filled. Just 5. And I didn't really count them. I can go even further. If there are 5 rows of 10, there have to be 50 blocks. Counting them one by one, from 1 to 50, would have been really slow. And because I know there are 100 spaces in the chart, I also know that half of 100 is 50. There's usually more than one way to look at a math situation. Can you see that there are 5 filled rows and 5 empty rows? Let's add a few more. Okay, now it's really easy to see that there are 2 empty rows at the top. Then how many rows are filled? 8, and I didn't even have to count them. Do you know how many blocks total now? 80. And how many empty spaces? 20. Now, if you can't do that yet, don't worry, you'll get better with more practice. Let's try another. Counting over how many blocks in a row? I can quickly see there are 2. And counting up, how many rows? Because the top 2 rows are empty, I can quickly see that 8 are filled. What about now? Look at the first row. What do your eyes tell you? Is it easier to see how many are filled or how many are empty? I think it's easier to see that 1 is empty. That means there are 9 that are filled. Now, counting up, how many rows? Again, I think it's easier to see that 1 is empty, which means 9 rows are filled. Look at the big picture, the table as a whole. Can you see that there are 9 rows of 9 simply by looking at the empty spaces? This is a great strategy to make you think. If you're doing multiplication problems, and even if you already know the answers, it's still great practice to quickly find them on this table using your eyes. The more you think, the better you think, and the faster too. Okay, quick. How many in each row? It's easier to see that 3 are empty. That means in each row there are 7. And counting up, how many rows? I think it's easier to see that 4 are empty. There have to be 6 rows that are filled. Do you see how looking at the empty space is a great strategy to use? One more example. Quick! Counting across, I think in each row it's easier to look at the spaces that are filled. I can quickly see that there are 4. That means there are 6 that are empty, right? And counting up, how many rows? I think it's easier to see the spaces that are empty. I see there are 3 empty rows. So how many are filled? 7. I hope this didn't confuse you, and if it did, don't worry about it. Just remember, sometimes it's helpful to focus on the empty spaces. So now you're ready to use the chart. Again, you can use it while you're working on math problems, or you can learn a lot just by poking around randomly. You could also choose to focus on a particular value, like rows of 3. 3 rows of 3 is 9. Stay in the same column. 6 rows of 3 is 18. And 9 rows of 3 is 27. Or you may want to focus on the totals we call squares. 3 rows of 3 is 9. In a square, the number in the row is the same as the number of rows. 3 rows of 3 is 9. 5 rows of 5 is 25. 6 rows of 6 is 36. You'll notice that the squares go up in a diagonal. 9 rows of 9 is 81. Now I have to tell you a little bit more. You can choose how the chart responds, and there are 4 options. Here it says factors and product. We just did that. The first click shows it all. But this option says factors, then product. Let's take a look at this option. Click once to show the factors, 9 rows of 2. And click again to show the product, a total of 18. This gives you a chance to anticipate the total before you see it, right? Click again to clear. For this option, 3 clicks. 1, 2, 3. 6 rows of 6. That's called a square. Click again to show the product. 36. 6 multiplied by 6 is 36. 6 squared is a quick way to say 6 multiplied by 6. 6 squared is 36. We just saw factors, then product. The next option is the opposite, product, then factors. The product is 32. What are the factors? This is a good time to look at the empty space at the end of the row. I see that 2 are empty, so there must be 8 filled. And counting up, how many rows? I can see there are 4. Click again to show the factors and see if it's what you expected. The product is 25. What are the factors? Do you know? Use your eyes to look at the whole picture, the filled spaces, and the empty spaces. 5 multiplied by 5, that's another square. 5 squared is 25. Nice! With this option, we saw the product first, which gave us a chance to figure out the factors. The last option says product only. This one also takes 3 clicks. 1 click shows the rows. Click again to show the product, but before you do, try to think about what it will be. Is that what you thought? The product is 30. Is that what you thought? With this option, you won't ever see the factors, but you definitely should think about what they are. Can you think of what factors make this product? Great!